Okay, students. So we are discussing oblique collisions. In that, I will give some examples. Okay. In the last class, I introduced oblique collision. So what is oblique collision? If velocities of the colliding bodies lies in a plane, that is two-dimensional. If it lies in a straight line, then it will become one-dimensional motion. Okay. So now you take this example. Prove that in case of oblique collision, velocities of the colliding in case of oblique collision, velocities oblique collision, colliding bodies fly perpendicular to each other, colliding bodies moves perpendicular to each other after collision if masses of the colliding bodies are equal and second body is at rest before collision. Okay. So we have to prove this. Prove that in case of oblique collision, colliding bodies moves perpendicular to each other after collision if masses of the colliding bodies are equal and second body is at rest before collision. Let us prove this. For that, you consider two bodies of masses m. Okay, they are identical. So m. Second body is at rest, u2 is 0. So during collision, see, the first body moves in this direction and the second body will obstruct this one. Okay, second body like this. So initial direction of motion for the first body, let it be u. That means the first one moves with velocity u. That is u1 is equal to u. u2 is equal to 0. Second one. m1 is equal to m. m2 is equal to m. Masses are equal. So during collision. So this is during collision. So this is before collision. So the direction of motion of the first one will be in this direction. It obstructs this one. So this will be the line of, I can call it as this is a common tangent. Okay, CT. This is CN. Okay, this is CN. What is CN? Common normal, or we can call it as line of impact, in which impulse acts on this line. So the first one exerts impulse on the second one in this direction. So this is a common tangent. So the first and second sphere, the common tangent. So this line is common tangent to both the spheres. What is the CT? Common tangent. Tangent to both the spheres. So after collision, they will fly off and moves with different velocities. Let it be. So the first one moves, let it be, first one moves with velocity m, moves with velocity v1, second one moves with velocity v2. I assumed. Okay. Second one, which makes an angle theta 1 and theta 2 with the initial direction of motion. So the initial direction of motion, I assumed it as x-axis. Okay. So this is after collision. After collision. After collision. So the first one moves with velocity v1 at an angle theta 1. Second one moves with velocity v2 with velocity makes an angle theta 2 with the initial direction of motion, that is I assumed it as x-axis. Now, so how we can solve this problem? So first I will apply law of conservation of linear momentum. As I explained, law of conservation of linear momentum, LCLM, that is momentum principle. What it says that total momentum along the x-axis. So first one is along x-axis. I am applying along x-axis. So apply LCLM along x-axis, step number 1. So if you apply along the x-axis, initial momentum is m into u, mu. Its momentum is at rest 0. So plus 0 is equal to its momentum after collision. Its momentum is mv1 along the x-axis, mv1 cos theta. So mv1 cos theta 1 along the x-axis plus mv2 cos theta 2 along x-axis. Its momentum along x-axis. So its component along the x-axis cos theta 2. So you will get cancel m. You will get u is equal to v1 cos theta 1 plus v2 cos theta 2. Okay. You call it as equation 1. So along the y-axis, you apply momentum principle. So its momentum will be in this direction, and along the y-axis it will be in this direction. So its component will become sine. So that is initial momentum. Since it is moving along the x-axis, its initial momentum in y direction is 0. It is also 0. So initial momentum is 0. After collision, its momentum is, first one momentum is mv1 sin theta 1. mv1 sin theta 1. Its momentum is in this direction. So it is minus, because these two are in opposite. So minus mv2 sin theta 2. So you call it as equation 2. Okay. So this is we assumed that this is oblique elastic collision. Oblique collision, I assumed that it is elastic collision. Oblique elastic collision. Okay. So in oblique elastic collision, so in elastic collision, kinetic energy is also conserved. Okay. So from this, what I am doing, squaring on both sides, equations 1 and 2. From these equations, Otherwise, I will apply third equation. Since kinetic energy, since the collision is elastic, collision is elastic. Since the collision is elastic, kinetic energy is also conserved. Kinetic energy is also conserved. So, from this principle, I am writing. So, what is kinetic energy? Kinetic energy, initial kinetic energy is half mu square. Total kinetic energy before collision is equal to total kinetic energy after collision. That is kinetic energy conservation. So, the first one, kinetic energy is half mu square. Since it is at rest, its kinetic energy is 0. So, after collision, so its kinetic energy is half m v1 square plus half m v2 square. You call it, so you cancel m and 2, you will get u square is equal to v1 square plus v2 square. You call it as equation 3. Okay. So, from these equations, 3 equations, what are the unknowns here? Theta 1, theta 2, v1, v2, and we have to prove that they move perpendicular to each other. That is theta 1 plus theta 2, we have to prove that it is 90 degrees. Okay, theta 1 plus theta 2 is 90 degrees. We have to prove this one. So, for that, so what I am doing, how we can solve this one? See, this one, I will square and add equations 1 and 2. So, equation 1 square plus 2 square, you get what? Square and add. So, u square you will get left hand is equal to v1 square cos square theta. Here m is also get cancelled since m is not equal to 0. So, here you will get v1 sin theta 1 minus v2 sin theta 2. Since m is not equal to 0, we can cancel this m1 also. So, v1 sin theta 1, squaring on both sides, v1 cos theta 1, v1 sin theta 1. So, you square and add v1 square sin square theta plus v1 square cos square theta. You take common v1 square. So, you will get sin square theta plus cos square theta, you will get 1. So, you will get v1 square plus here this 2. So, v2 square cos square theta, v2 square sin square theta. So, what you will get? v2 square you common, sin square theta plus cos square theta, you will get 1. So, that is you will get v2 square plus here a plus b whole square minus a minus b whole square. A plus b whole square you will get 2v1 v2 cos theta 1 and cos theta 2. 2v1 v2 cos theta 1 and cos theta 2. Here you will get sin theta 1 and sin theta 2. v1 v2 is common. So, you take it as common. So, here you will get cos theta 1 cos theta 2 minus sin theta 1 sin theta 2. So, after squaring and adding equations 1 and 2, you will get this. Okay. So, this cos theta 1 cos theta 2 minus sin theta 1 and sin theta 2, what you will get? So, I will write here. Okay. So, so where I have to write? So, I will write here. Okay. So, I will write here. So, you will get u square v1 square plus v2 square u square u square v1 square. So, v1 square plus v2 square and V2 square 2V1 V2. So this will becomes what you will get, U square 2V1 V2 cos theta 1 cos theta 2 minus sin theta 1 and sin theta 2 becomes 2V1 V2 cos of theta 1 plus theta 2, cos theta 1 cos A cos B minus sin A sin B becomes cos A cos B. So what we have, cos A cos B minus sin A sin B, we have cos of theta 1 plus theta 2. So we have this, okay, 2V1 V2 cos of theta 1 plus theta 2. So this we can write it as U square. So we have to prove that this 2V1 V2 A square plus B square plus 2A1 A2 whole square, that we can write it as theta 1 plus theta 2. We have to prove that it is 90 degrees. So 90 degrees means here from equation 3 you check. So from equation 3 I have U square is equal to V1 square plus V2 square. So instead of V1 square plus V2 square I am writing U square. So from equation 3, so this can be written as U square plus 2V1 V2 cos of theta 1 plus theta 2. Okay, from equation 3 I am using equation 3. So U square, instead of V1 square plus V2 square I have written U square. So this U square get cancelled. So V1 V2 not equal to 0. So what we will get, cos theta 1 plus theta 2 becomes 0. Since V1 V2 not equal to 0, V1 and V2 not equal to 0. Okay, so theta 1 plus theta 2 cos theta is equal to 0 when, so theta 1 plus theta 2 is equal to 90 degrees. Hence proved. Okay, so finally I got theta 1 plus theta 2 is equal to 90. Clear this one? Okay, so this is one example. So what I conclude, in case of oblique elastic collision, if masses of the colliding bodies are equal, they will fly perpendicular to each other, normal to each other. Okay, they will move perpendicular to each other. So if first one moves like this, second one will move like this. Angle between them is 90 degrees. So they will fly perpendicular to each other. That is the conclusion. Clear? Take this example. The next example. Okay, you take this problem. Two billiard balls of same size, radius, and same mass and mass, same size, radius, mass, so identical, or in contact, or in contact, or in contact on a billiards table, on a table, on a table, that is billiards table. Okay. A third ball also same size, a third identical ball, a third identical ball strikes them symmetrically, strikes them symmetrically, okay, symmetrically, and remains at rest after impact, and remains rest after impact, after impact, after impact. The coefficient of restitution, coefficient of restitution of the balls is first option 2 by root 3, second option 2 by 3, third option 1 by 2, fourth option 1 by root 2. So these are the options you have. Okay. How we can solve this problem? So two balls, let us see how we can solve this problem. Two billiard balls of same size, radius, mass are in contact on the table. A third identical ball strikes them symmetrically. See, suppose there are two balls will be like this symmetrically. Okay. A third ball moving with the velocity, we don't know, identical masses, let it be m, m, m. So masses are equal and the radius is also equal. So moving with velocity v, let it be. Okay. It hits symmetrically. So at the time of collision, it will be like this. So it hits symmetrically. That is the meaning. Symmetrical sense means this is it exerts equal impulse on both the spheres. Okay. So this is if it is a common tangent, this line becomes impulse. So it will exert equal impulse on the two spheres. That is the meaning. Okay. Symmetrically. So I assumed that it is initially moving in the x direction. Okay. So its momentum is mv. Now its initial momentum is mv in this direction along the x axis. Now this one is the initial direction of motion. I assumed it as x axis. Okay. Now what is this angle? So if this radius is r, this radius is r, in such problems you first find the angle. Okay. So the radiuses are equal when they are in contact. So this one becomes again radius. So this is r. So this distance becomes 2r. So then what is this angle? So I will take this one here using this another triangle. See, this is r, this is 2r. So what is this theta? Sin theta is equal to r by 2r. So we have sin theta is equal to 1 by 2. So theta is equal to sin theta is equal to 1 by 2. So what we have, theta is equal to 30 degrees. So if this is 30 degrees and this one is also 30 degrees because it strikes symmetrically. Since the impulse on both the spheres are equal, so the speeds also may be equal. The speeds is also equal after collisions. So what is the speed of this one after collision? So if it is after collision, I will take this one, I take it as u. Before collision, I assumed it as u. Before collision. So after collision, I assumed it as v. So v be the velocities of the colliding bodies after collision. Since solution, since symmetrical collision, since third ball strikes first two balls symmetrically. So let v1 is equal to v2 after collisions is equal to v, say. So after collision, the first sphere comes to rest. That is, this is the first sphere. So it comes to rest. So I am applying momentum principle. Apply LCLM along x-axis. I am applying along x-axis. So what you will get? Initial momentum, it's this sphere is mu. So mu, it's these two are at rest. So their momentas are 0 before collision. After collision, they acquires the speeds v1 v. So its momentum in this direction is mv cos theta. mv cos theta. Second one momentum is also, since they are identical, mv cos theta. So this will become 2mv cos theta. Get cancelled. So u is equal to 2v cos theta. What is theta? 30 degrees. So what is cos 30? Cos 30 is root 3 by 2. Isn't it? 2 get cancelled. So what is v? V is after collision. So the third one comes to rest. It is cos 30 root 3 by 2. We want v. V is this 2 get cancelled. I will get root 3. So v is equal to root 3 u. Okay. You call it as equation 1. Now what we want? After collision, the impact coefficient of restitution of the balls is. So we want coefficient of restitutions. So for this, apply Newton's experimental law. Apply Newton's experimental law. Experimental law along Cn, along common tangent, not common normal, that is Cn. Okay, line of impact. So this is the line of impact, isn't it? So this is the line of impact. In this direction, this is the Cn. So in this direction, you apply Newton's experimental law. So what is Newton's experimental law? Relative velocities of E is equal to, we want E, v2 minus v1 by u1 minus u2. Isn't it? This is expression for E. What is E? Coefficient of restitution. Okay. E is equal to v2 minus v1 by u1 minus u2. So you apply along Cn direction. So Cn direction, the second ball is having the velocity v2, v. Initial velocity in this direction is 0 by initial velocity of the first one is along Cn, u2 is 0. So the second one, initial velocity, relative velocities of approach in this direction. So the first one, initial velocity of the second sphere in this direction is 0, initial velocity. For this one, it has a velocity in this direction. Okay. So what is the velocity in this direction? In this direction is v, initial velocity. So this direction is v. So initial velocity of the first one in this direction is u, and we want its component in this direction, initial velocity. So it is u cos theta. So it will become u cos theta. Okay. So what you will get, that is v by, what is v? V is, I will write it as, instead of v I am writing root 3 u. So I will write root 3 u by u, this u get cancelled, cos theta, cos 30 is root 3 by 2, root 3 by 2. So u get cancelled, root 3 you will get 2. No, we got wrong. Check where it is. So once again you go through the problem. It is v is equal to cos 30, momentum principle is 2 mv cos 30. So what is 2 mv cos 30? M get cancelled. 2v cos 30 is root 3 by 2. So this 2 get cancelled. You will get v is equal to u by, here you will get u by root 3. Here you will get u by root 3. So that is the mistake we did here. Okay. So u by root 3. So instead of v I am writing u by root 3. So this is, instead of v I am writing u by root 3. u cos 30 is root 3 by 2. Okay. Cos 30 is root 3 by 2. So here you will get root 3. Okay. So root 3 becomes, this u get cancelled, root 3 into root 3 becomes 3 by 2. So this is E is equal to, we have 2 by 3. So we have 2 by 3. Okay. So this is the answer. Okay. Clear? Take this. Next sum. A hailstone, you take next sum. So, hailstones are observed to strike hailstorms are observed to strike the surface of a frozen lake. frozen lake, frozen lake in a direction making an angle 30 degrees, making an angle 30 degrees to the vertical, and rebounds rebound at an angle 45 degrees to the vertical, okay, to the vertical, assume the contact to be smooth, find coefficient of restitution, okay. So this is the problem. So hailstorms, so this is the problem, okay. How we can solve this one? Hailstorms are observed to strike the surface frozen lake in a direction making an angle 30 degrees to the vertical. Suppose there is a surface, let it be a frozen lake, so this is the vertical. So if hailstorms strikes this one making an angle theta with the vertical, okay. So mass of the hailstone we don't know, let it be m. With what speed it strikes the ground, frozen lake, we don't know, let it be u. So after striking it moves in this direction, so mass which makes an angle alpha with the vertical, okay. So at the time of collision the hailstone will be like this. So this is the at the time of collision, okay. So at the time of collision this is the position of the hailstone, okay. This is before, this is at the time of collision, this is after collision. So after collision what speed it is moving we don't know, let it be v, okay. So I assumed that this is a collision, okay. So this is the collision between hailstorm 1 and a frozen lake, let it be 2. So this ground, that is frozen lake, I take it as 2 and 1. What is 1? 1 I assumed it as hailstorm mass m. 2 I take it as ground, that is frozen lake, that is fixed. So I take this one, okay. So I assumed 1 and 2. So I assume this is the collision between 1 and 2. So I assume collision between 1 and 2. 2 is at rest, okay. This is the solution. So 2 is at rest. So u2 is 0 and v2 is also 0 because they are at rest. So because the ground is at rest before and after collision. So the first one before collision it strikes with a uniform speed. I assumed that at the time of collision it has a speed u. So let u be the speed of the hailstone at the time of collision. and it after collision it rises with the speed u. Okay, let u and v be the velocities of the hailstorm before and after collision. Just before and after collision. Okay, I assumed like this. So these are the velocities makes an angle theta and alpha as shown in the figure. Now I assumed that it is an oblique collision. So okay, so in oblique collision, as I explained, you first try to trace the common tangent and common normal. So this direction, since this is a tangent to this surface, so it will becomes CT, and this direction becomes CN. So this will becomes common normal or line of impact. So the ball before collision, you resolve this one into velocities. Okay, you resolve this one into velocities. So it's velocities after collision and before collision. So this is u, this will becomes u cos theta before collision, and its component is u sin theta before collision. So after collision, its component in this direction is v after collision, v cos alpha. In this direction is v sin alpha. Okay, so these are the, I resolve these velocities u and v into its components. Okay, before and after collision. Okay, so here the concept is along the CN, along the CT there will be no impulse, along the CN there will be impulse. So along CT, so the concept is along common tangent there will be no impulse. There will be no impulse. So no impulse. So velocities of the colliding bodies before and after collision are equal. So velocity of the colliding bodies before and after collision are same because there is no impulse. So velocity of the ball before collision along CT will be u sin theta. So we have what we have, u sin theta is equal to v sin alpha. So you call it as equation 1. Okay, so from this concept we have this. So along CN, that is there will be impulse. So I will take this space. So here theta is given as 30 degrees, alpha is given as 45 degrees. We want coefficient of restitution. Okay, now you apply Newton's experimental law. Okay, along apply second point, apply Newton's experimental law. Newton's experimental law, that is along Cn. So it should be applied along Cn only, because in that line of impact direction there will be impulse. Newton's experimental law along Cn. So if you apply, what is that, V2 minus V1, what is that? I will write here. E is equal to V2 minus V1 by U1 minus U2. So it should be applied along Cn. Apply. Okay. So I have written already here, apply. So what you will get? This equation I will write here. E is equal to V2 minus V1 by, so U1 minus U2. This is the formula of this. Now I am applying this. So what you will get? Okay. So what you will get? E is equal to, we want E is equal to V2. So 2 is at rest. I assumed 2 is ground. So which is at rest? So it is 0. And V1, 1 is ball. So this is 1 is the ball, hailstone or ball. So 1 is hailstone which has velocity in this direction after collision, that is V cos alpha. So that is V cos alpha is equal to, and U1 minus U2. 1 is before collision. Before collision in this direction is U cos theta. So U cos theta. Okay. So U2. 2 is ground which is at rest. Before and after collisions, ground will be at rest only. Hailstorm strikes and bounce. Like ball hits the ground and bounce. There will be no change in the velocities of ground, because which is at rest before and after collision. So you will get this. So this is velocity along V cos alpha is equal to minus E into U cos theta. So this we can also say V in y direction is equal to, after collision is E times velocity in y direction before collision. Okay, this is the suffix y, that is y represents y along Cn, common normal direction. I assumed this one is x axis, this one is the y axis. So along Cn, and that means velocity of the ball after collision is E times the initial velocity. This is very important shortcut in the problems. So what is the shortcut here? I will write here. What is this? This equation 2. Okay, this is the equation 1 I have written. So I will write here. I will take this space. And what you have this? Velocity of the ball. This is very important. Velocity of the ball or hailstorm after collision, here ball or hailstorm, ball or hailstorm, velocity of the ball after collision is E times velocity before collision. Velocity of the ball or hailstone before collision. Along Cn direction. This is along Cn direction only. Okay, this is the important point. So this minus indicates both are in opposite directions. Now I want so from these equations 1 and 2. So from equations 1 and 2, what is the equation 2? We have this equation 1, this is equation 2. So from equations 1 and 2. So what we have from equations 1, 2, we have, check what we have. I divide the equations 1 and 2. So what is, you will get V cos alpha and EB cos theta. So that is, I will write V sin alpha, here I will write this one. So I want E, so that is V cos alpha I will write by V sin alpha, I will write V sin alpha is equal to, that is minus E U cos theta by U sin theta. So I take the magnitude only. So because its magnitude I want to take, write the minus, because you take the magnitude of this velocity after into. So this is the, I will write its magnitude. So E times Uy, E times Uy, I will write its magnitude. So what you will get, U get cancelled, V get cancelled, you will get cot alpha is equal to E into cos theta, U into cot theta. So I want E, so I will write here E is equal to, I will bring this one this side. So that is tan theta, 1 by cot theta becomes tan theta, cot alpha becomes tan alpha. So this is the answer for E. So E is equal to tan theta by tan alpha. You take this one. Okay. So I want this E. So what is E? Theta is given as, you remember this one as the formula. So tan theta is equal to tan 30 by tan 45. Tan 45 is 1, then tan 30 is 1 by root 3. So E is equal to, we have 1 by root 3. So I got E is equal to 1 by root 3. So this is the answer. As I said, E value lies between 0 and 1. So it is, general collisions takes place in the nature, which is not perfectly elastic, which is not perfectly inelastic. Okay. So general collisions takes place between the hailstone and the ground. This is also an example for oblique collision. Okay. Suppose here you want velocity after collision. So what you will get? Squaring on both sides 1 and 2, you will get velocity after collision. So I will write that one also. Okay. So I will write here. So to get velocity after collision, suppose you want velocity of the hailstone after collision or ball. So 1 square plus 2 square, squaring on both sides equations, we get squaring equations 1 and 2. So we get, let us see what we happen. So here equation 2, V sin square alpha, V cos square alpha, you square on V sin square alpha, V cos square alpha, sin square alpha plus cos square alpha becomes 1. So you will get V square is equal to, right hand side you will get U sin square theta, U square sin square theta plus this one is you square on this one. So U square cos square theta. So that is U square you take it as common, U square, what you will get, sin square theta plus E square U square cos square theta. Instead of cos square theta I am writing 1 minus sin square theta. So 1 minus sin square theta, or instead of cos sin square theta I am writing 1 minus cos square theta. So So u square sin square theta, instead of sin square theta I am writing cos square. 1 minus cos square theta plus e square u square, u I take it as common. So e square cos square theta. So what you will get? 1 minus sin square theta can be written as 1 minus cos square theta. So cos square theta is here. So you take it as, I will write here, v square is equal to u square into, here is 1, I will write 1. You take it as e square as common, I take u square into 1 u square cos square theta minus e square cos square theta. That is, you will get u square, you will get cancel, e square minus 1, isn't it? E square minus 1 you will get of cos square theta, of cos square theta. Okay, so is it right? So v is equal to u of under root 1 minus e square minus 1 of cos square theta. So this is the expression. Minus e square cos square theta, no, it is 1 minus. So 1 minus e square theta, 1 minus e square theta. So minus of minus, you will get plus e square cos square theta. Here minus u square cos square theta, you will get 1. So here you will get 1 minus e square theta. Okay, so this is the answer. Okay, so this is u. Suppose here u is equal to 1. So what you will get? Suppose in case of perfectly elastic collision. So I will write here. You remember this one as the formula. Suppose, so this is the velocity after collision. You call it as equation 4. That one is what is E is equal to tan theta by tan alpha. You take it as equation 3. This is 3, this is 2, 3, 4. So what is V? Velocity after collision. Suppose collision is elastic. Collision is elastic. Collision is elastic. What is elastic? Means E value 1. So 1 minus 1, elastic means E is equal to 1. If you substitute 1 minus 1, 0, 0 into something 0, 1 minus 0, 1, square root of 1, 1. Then V is equal to U. That means if it is a perfectly elastic collision, it will strike. If it strikes the ground with velocity v, then it rises up with velocity v. Okay. Okay. So there is no change in velocities. Suppose you want a loss in kinetic energy. So similarly, if you want a loss in kinetic energy, you subtract final kinetic energy minus initial kinetic energy. So I want loss in kinetic energy. Suppose you want loss in kinetic energy. How do you calculate? Initial minus final. You write initial minus final kinetic energy. It is positive value. So initial is half m u square minus final is half m v square. So that is half m u square minus half m. Instead of v, velocity after collision, I will write v square. Instead of v square, I am writing u square minus 1 minus e square cos square theta. Okay. So what you will get? Half mv square minus half mv square. I think you will get cancelled. So what you will get? Loss in kinetic energy, loss in Ke is equal to what you will get? Half mu square. You take it as common. Minus of minus becomes plus into 1 minus e square cos square theta. Okay, this is the answer. So this is the loss in kinetic energy. Suppose if it is a perfectly elastic collision, E substitute 1, you will get 1 minus 1 0, 0 into something 0. So perfectly elastic collision, loss in kinetic energy is also 0. Okay, if it is perfectly elastic collision. So this is the answer. Clear? This is also an example for two-dimensional motion. So I explained some problems regarding oblique collisions. You take this.